Hey guys. Hey Kaz.
Hi, Ma. Hi, everybody. How is everyone tonight?
Hey Kathy Elisa Casada. How are you, Kazi?
I'm good. Thanks for this. Yeah, I'm not coughing my lungs out tonight, although it's not tonight for me. It's actually only 10 to 1 in the afternoon, but it's a tad bit cold for us here, and it's getting colder, Ma. I forgot to tell you, we're actually going down to the 30s in the next few days.
Oh, you poor
That's
thing.
cold for me.
You poor thing.
I know. You feel sorry for me?
No.
No. I knew that.
Hey Lola and Kathy. No, because I laugh at you when you say that when 40s is so cold for you, and I think when the winter is over, when the 40s kick, we're down at the lake swimming.
Yeah, but you have to remember, I live in a subtropical climate. So 40s for me is cold.
Ah, ta ta ta.
I know, I know. Play the violin, Kaz. Play the violin.
We're gonna get Kaz guys to come to Maine for a winter, and we're gonna show her colds.
To say I was born in England and I lived through many cold winters. I've lived in Australia for a lot longer than I lived in England, so I've become acclimatized.
I can't get over.
What?
I can't get over the parade shooter. I just can't wrap
Oh,
my head around him.
yeah, yeah. When I first heard about that, I mean, I went from
And this picture,
horrified.
Kaz.
I mean, guys, this
Let
a
me share.
tragedy is one thing,
I
but
can't get it bigger. Oh, just a tip. Hey, cat eyes. It's just
hi, kiddos.
we hear so many mass shootings and things, and it's horrible what goes on. But the funny thing is when they told you that he was dressed as a woman to blend in the crowd, I
Hmm.
kept thinking, wow, that's the first time I've ever heard this in my whole entire life. I could not wrap my head around it.
Yeah, I mean, he's been planning this for a while. I mean, it, it goes, it stems back to 2019 when he first told some people that he planned on doing something horrific. And he had all his knives and other weapons confiscated back then. So he's had this fessing in his mind.
So you have to ask
Hey,
yourself
Shredder,
if he was pinned for suicide,
in
and
2019, yep.
when we have to so when exactly did he buy all of these guns illegally? Pretty scary.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it works the same over in the US as it does over here, but um, it is very hard to buy weapons in Australia as it is in the UK. If you have any mental health issues whatsoever, you can't get a gun license for a
Yeah, we
start
were
off.
talking about that yesterday. I told you I can go get a permit and get myself a pink 45 and just walk right into the Taco Bell with a gun on my hip.
And you also can't buy a weapon if you do not belong to an accredited gun club. So an average person can't just go into a gun shop and buy a gun here. You must belong to a gun club, and 90% of the time, they must be stored at the gun club. So you can't even have them in your house. So
Yeah.
it's
So what
crazy.
do you guys think about the parade shooter?
Have you been following it, guys? Hi, London girl.
Because what we're going to talk about tonight before we get into a little bit of a at the end with Dylan, and we do have the Zoom working, guys.
Whoop, whoop.
You guys can call in from Canada, the United States, the UK, and Australia. Oh, look at
I
how
can
nice
call in
Kaz.
too.
Look at how nice Kaz did this. Yeah, we did a test run today. Kaz called in and we did it right. So I'm going to just show this on the screen for a minute in case one of you lovelies want to call in. Check out our new Zoom system. I guess I have to open Zoom, right?
No, well,
Ah,
yes, you do in the background, but
look at how
let me.
nice she did that.
Well, you're gonna have to make it more legible, darling. Nobody
You
can
want me
read
to
that
make
on the
it
screen.
bigger?
Yes, please, and I'll
I don't
explain
think
it
I
to
can.
everybody. You should be able to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to just make it bigger in the font.
Okay, make it bigger in the front, and it is
Oh,
really, oh, really easy to use.
yeah, it's easy.
All you need to do, say, like myself, ringing from Australia did not cost me anything to ring. I just rang, used the numbers that are showing, saying the Aussie part. I just rang 612, um, and the numbers after that. Then it asks you for the meeting ID number, and you put those other numbers in. Then you press the hash key. Then it asks you for the passcode, and you put those numbers in, and you ask you for the hash key again. And Bob's your uncle. You're in the waiting room to come up and talk to us. I've put in four different numbers for the US, so you can utilize whichever area code is closer to you. I did four for Canada, and I did four for the UK. But it is easy to use. So if anybody would like to, if you want the particular number for the US or Canada, I can pop them up um, on the screen separately if you like, if you can't actually read those numbers,
And we
because I
actually have
can't, but I'm blind.
we have more codes. If you're somewhere else and you want to call in, we can get the codes for you guys.
Absolutely. Disregard the. That's one thing we forgot to do, Mar, is change the Nightbot numbers because
Yeah,
they
ignore
are
the Nightbot.
incorrect.
Ignore the Nightbot, guys. We have to redo the Nightbot because the numbers are wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with I want to listen to the Lake County prosecutor and hubba hubba. I mean
Can I just explain something to everybody about this hubba hubba thing? Ma got me, well, not in trouble, but she kind of stirred up my husband with this hubba hubba business. Uh, yeah, she, she showed me this picture of this chief uh, from the law enforcement, and he is a piece of eye candy. Really is very nice looking. And she said hubba bubba, and I said hubba bubba, and of course my husband heard me saying hubba bubba, so he comes out and says, "What are you saying hubba bubba for?" So then he saw what I was looking at, and he started stirring me up. He's not jealous, but he just started stirring me up.
you might have to pull it up, Kaz. I got I'm at the end of my data, guys, so you have to bear with me today, Kaz. I'm gonna put the link in private chat.
Okay, not a problem. Hey Tracy,
and it
hi
was
Justice,
funny
it's Jenny.
and it was funny too because when Kaz's husband and this was like 4:30 in the morning her time, and her husband's like Ross is like, "Oh, what are you guys talking about?" And I said, "How about bubble bubble gum?" He said, "Oh no, you're not. Oh no, you're not." I said, "How about bubblicious bubble gum?" He goes, "You're talking about the guy in the screen." I said, "Oh, hubba hubba." Hey, Justice, Janie, Rachel, Tracy.
Yeah,
All right,
he
Kaz, I
knows
gave it
what.
to you.
Yes, I've got it, sweetheart, already. He knew what Mara and I was up to.
Yes. Well,
He
Shredder,
was
you're about to sample this. He's a
okay.
good looking man.
All right, let me just go back to the beginning. Bear with me a moment, and you'll see why Ma called him
Hubba
Hubba Bubba.
hubba. He's kind of like a Paul Walker mixed with I don't know what.
Let me make it full screen so you can all Appreciate.
The Lake County Major Crime Task Force. I'm joined today by Lake County.
Now, can you all hear that?
Yeah, just make it a little louder. Shredder, get your eyeballs out of here. I'm gonna put. I'm gonna poke you in the eyeballs.
All right.
Shredder's like, oh. All right, guys,
Uh,
let's hear. So this is Lake County prosecutors. They're gonna speak after the suspect's bond hearing.
okay, here we go.
State's Attorney Eric Reinhardt, who has a few comments.
Good morning. My name is Eric Reinhardt. I'm the Lake County State's Attorney. This morning, a few moments ago, the judge ruled that Robert Cremo III would be held without bond and that there was probable cause to hold him at this time for 7 counts of first-degree murder. We have filed those counts alleging the intentional killing of 7 individuals. Based on the information that the investigation has produced so far, the judge found that the evidence was at such a level that he could be held without bond. Also, because the fact that it is a mandatory life sentence. Additional details were developed during that bond hearing. I know there was a pool reporter there for that. I can certainly answer some additional questions about that. I want to continue to emphasize that this is an ongoing and active investigation with all of our law enforcement partners. If anyone has any surveillance footage whatsoever of the July 4th Highland Park parade, we would urge them to contact the Highland Park Police Department. Deputy Chief Covelli probably has the best phone number for that. I can take a few questions.
Sure. Can you tell us, there's been this question about how the shooter obtained these weapons, this question about maybe the father sponsoring this license even after those initial...
Kaz, you can pause when you want to so we can talk about it because it's just amazing. They're talking about a kid that it's amazing how people are treated different.
Oh, yeah. Well, what we were referring to, if you don't know about it, is Jayland Walker, the African-American 25-year-old who was shot over 60 times by the Akron Police Department because he drove his car into a church after there were shots exchanged as he was fleeing, and but he got out of his car running away, no firearms in his hand, and they shot him 60 times, hitting him in his back.
Yeah, we're gonna go over both arrest videos and the comparison. It's just unbelievable. I mean, when I was reading, I put the video out, like under his left eye and in his chin. I mean, 8 police officers opened fire on this man, and then after that, they handcuff him, and he just dies on the ground.
Yeah, without giving him
I can't
any
even
first
wrap.
aid. Yeah,
8
you shoot the
cops.
guy you shoot him 60 times, put him in handcuffs, and then think, oh, we might have to call EMT. Not nice.
You think?
Mm.
Because the first we'll get into that like after this though, but the first article that came out, the way that the reporter worded it, it almost sounded like they were chasing him. He slowed down. He fired a shot out the window. The car was still going. He got out. He ran. They caught him. They handcuffed him. And then he ran away. And then they opened fire on him. Crazy.
I know.
Okay, let's continue with these little. I mean, this reminds me of the kid that went into the church and killed all those people. And they picked him up and drove him where? To McDonald's to get a sandwich before they took him to the jail. It's true. They took the kid to Taco Bell or something and got him food before they took him to jail. You can't make it up.
Here we go.
With other family members, the parents, perhaps?
I don't want to comment on that. I don't want to answer that question right now
Hey,
in terms
Junie.
of what our work continues to do to look at all of the information and evidence in this case.
Is there precedent to charge a family member who has signed off on a FOID application for someone who's under 21? Is there precedent for that?
That is not something that I have done in my administration. It is something we can get back to you on that question in terms of whether that's been done in the past. I know there was another state in Michigan, totally different set of facts. We can get back to you on that, but that's not something that I have personally done while I've been state attorney.
The bond hearing of Mr. Cremo's statement to police was discussed. Can you please elaborate on that?
Well, his statement was voluntary. He was questioned in the Highland Park Police Department. He was read his Miranda warnings, offered attorneys, etc. He went into details about what he had done. He admitted to what he had done.
Can you provide why?
No, and I was also asked the question if he said why he did it. We don't want to speculate on motives right now.
Motives.
I'm gonna refer that question to Deputy Chief Corvallis.
Here comes Hubba
Certainly,
Bubba.
our investigation is gone very much into what happened after the shooting, what Primo's plan was. Investigators did develop
Pause
some
it for 1
information
sec, Kaz.
that it appears.
Hey, Iconic. I wish that the emojis, the avatars here on StreamYards could have like the little heart cartoon eyeballs that pop out like I sent you that GIF with their Iconic, don't be looking at my future husband on the screen. I know he's cute. You're married. You got baby on the way.
Yeah. Yeah, Rachel, he's hot.
Hubba. Okay.
All right, put your eyeballs in, ladies. Let's go.
When he drove to Madison, he was driving around. However, he did see a celebration that was occurring in Madison, and he seriously contemplated using the firearm he had in his vehicle to commit another shooting in Madison.
Do you know how much ammunition he had at that point?
Approximately 60
Wait,
rounds.
stop that, Kaz. Did I hear that correctly? I have not listened to this yet. He was on his way. Can you go back 30 seconds and let me pay attention? He was on his way to Madison for another shooting?
That's what I thought he said, yes. You were too busy looking at Chris.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and not look at my screen and just focus on what he's saying. Okay, Hubba. Yeah. I mean, Chris. Okay.
Ready? Stop it. You're going to make me laugh.
Did develop some information that it appears when he drove to Madison, he was driving around. However, he did see a celebration that was occurring in Madison, and he seriously contemplated using the firearm he had in his vehicle to commit another shooting in Madison.
Do you know how much ammunition he had at that point?
Approximately 60 rounds.
Hey, Barry. Holy cow.
So he was looking at doing another one.
And we know what Madison is. Madison is where everything went down with that kid that shot the 3 other guys at the George Floyd, where he was protecting the property. We're the one that got off for self-defense recently.
I mean, one's bad enough, but to even contemplating another one.
Hey, Dee.
Oh, Dee, we haven't seen you in ages.
So he was literally, so he admits this, and then I was just driving around thinking about pulling over at the Madison celebration and popping off a few more rounds out of the window. We'll discuss it after we watch this, because we could stop and discuss it all night. I want to know why his parents were not more, well, actually he didn't live at home. Okay, I'm going to bypass that. Okay, I'm going to shut up.
Okay.
Yes. His motivation isn't necessarily clear. I don't want to go specifically into what he told investigators. However, he had some type of affinity towards the number 4 and 7, and inverse was 7-4.
I believe his plan was to go to Highland Park and then to Madison all along.
We don't have information to suggest he planned on driving to Madison initially to commit another attack. We do believe that he was driving around following the first attack and saw the celebration.
When he got to Madison, did something deter him from attacking, or did he appear to make a decision himself to not attack?
Indications are that he hadn't put enough thought and research into it.
Have you talked to the female witness you were looking for yesterday, and what did you learn?
We have not been able to locate her yet.
Do you know anything about the affinity to the numbers 4, 7, and what the significance of that?
It apparently comes from music that he's interested in.
What about his weapons? We understand now that.
Hey, Sunset.
Hang on, listen. This is about they're talking about when he bought his weapons, Ma.
Yeah, turn up the volume on the YouTube side just a little bit, please.
I'm going to blow my eardrums out. Hang on. It's as loud as it will go on this. Hang on.
Okay.
Learn more information about.
Hey, Leandra.
Yeah, so
Will.
in 2020, he bought 4 weapons. The weapon used in the July 4th attack, a Celtic Sub 200, a Remington 700, a shotgun, In 2021, he purchased a Glock 43X, and that was after his 21st birthday.
He just said that, Kaz. He bought it 2 years after his suicide breakdown. That's pretty scary.
No, he bought one in 2020, and then the Glock in 2021. He bought the rifles in 2020, and the Glock in 2021.
Yes, and you said his breakdown was 2019.
Yeah, so 1 year after he bought the
Yes.
rifles, and the year after that he bought the Glock. So
Exactly
yes,
what I said. The man was able to go and buy a gun, parents knowing, friends knowing, whoever knowing, after a
1 year,
suicide breakdown.
1 year, 1 year after a suicide. 1 year, not two, 1 year. He bought a rifle 1 year after a suicide attempt. That's crazy.
Sure is
Ludicrous.
crazy.
Oh my Godfather. All right, let's keep going.
I can't speak why he.
What's up?
All the girls are going crazy. Nobody is focused because of Hubba Hubba on the screen.
Oh, girls, I'm going to have to smudge his face.
Decided to come back from Madison. There are indications that he didn't put enough planning forward to commit another attack. There's been some questions about the FBI and their response in Madison, evidence technicians in Madison. He did dispose of his phone in Madison, the Madison area in Middleton. That phone has since been recovered.
Chief, is the father cooperating with the investigation?
I don't want to go into levels of cooperation. We're talking to everybody though, and working on getting the most cooperation we can out of everybody.
Can you discuss the law Madison?
In 2019, Highland Park notified the state police about the knife incident. Is there not a mechanism in this firearm identification law, that hard law, that is there not a mechanism where that should have stuck around? Like, why wasn't that flagged when just months later he's getting it done?
I don't want to speak to the state police's protocol or procedure. I do believe they've issued some information about that incident, the information they received, and their decision making that went into that process. That really solely rests on them, and I don't want to speak to their protocol.
But to your knowledge, there's nothing in their system that holds on to those things. That the
I don't have access to their system to even know that, so I really don't want to speak to that. Dana.
All right, now this is where we definitely differ. Your state police don't have access to the state police database, where over here they're all linked.
Hey, Black Dove. You know, Kaz, when we talk about Dylan, I would love for Black Dove to come up. And during this time, I'm going to make a phone call after we talk about these two to Miss Lucid and see if she wants to come and talk about the water rights with us.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, this is crazy.
Now, do you want me to continue playing? This is 25 minutes worth. There's another.
No. I just wanted him to come on with the charges and about how he actually bought the guns a year after his suicide breakdown.
Yeah, exactly. And the same year in 2019, where he had all his knives and other weapons removed from him. That's important.
It is very important. That kid Kyle Rittenhouse or something, Rittenhouse, he was the one that did those shootings in the city that he was contemplating, that he didn't plan enough to go to.
Rittenhouse was in the riots that he shot. He shot those kids in self-defense, according to the court.
Yeah, 3. Yeah. Same town that this kid was just heading over to, but decided not to.
Yeah.
Scary.
It is. All right, well, I'll stop sharing this screen now. Girls,
ladies, we have to get
One
rid of
last
Hubba
look.
Hubba.
There. He's gone. He's gone now.
But yeah, let's go. Let's compare these two arrests, these two takedowns. Jayland Walker and this one, Robert Crimo. let's start with Jayland Walker.
Yeah, Rachel, I agree. As you know, us being Aussies, we can't wrap our head around this.
Sad.
Mm.
I mean, you just don't understand. Like, let's just say that Jayland Walker fired out the window and he's running away from the cops. Why? Like, no taser. Like, why does it take eight of you? Like, the other cops not like, hey guys, like, what are we doing right now?
Yeah, well, from what I read, they said they. Have I got feedback?
I don't hear feedback.
Okay. From what I read, they said that the police feared for their safety. That's why they use lethal force rather than stun guns.
Private chat, Kaz.
Oh,
I
okay.
understand that, but we're talking over 60 bullets. Wait till you. I mean, in his face, like that part just, oh, I just can't.
Oh, it's ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous.
But they did say they found the gun that was in the car that he supposedly fired one time.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Okay.
It makes me want to
All right.
cry.
It is. It's horrific. Now, I just want to say that the next video that I am going to play
Oh,
for
hang on.
everyone, it does have some graphic footage on it, so please be warned.
Trigger warning.
Yeah. If you don't like to see graphic footage, please look away.
Step away from the situation. Hey, Leslie. All right, this is just, this video makes me want to punch.
Okay. Are you
Go
ready,
on.
everybody?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Now, this is the actual footage from the police officers, or law enforcement, as you call them. Oh, don't spill them. See, even the cold weather is affecting my computer. Come on, refresh.
Yep. Doesn't like it, Kaz.
That's all right.
There we
Oh,
go.
I just had to refresh it.
See, Kaz, I told you to put your screens in dark mode. If you go into dark mode on everything, then you won't be so bright on your eyes.
Yeah.
Yes, Black Devil, we're going to send you
Monday,
the
June
link in a.
27th, 2020.
Shh, I gotta be quiet.
You don't yell down the phone at me.
22 at 12:30 in the morning, Akron police officers attempted to stop a silver Buick on East Talmadge Avenue near Thayer Street. Officers informed dispatch that the reason for the stop was for a traffic violation as well as an equipment violation. The driver of the vehicle refused to stop, and officers initiated a vehicle pursuit as the vehicle was nearing the East Talmadge Avenue entrance ramp to Route 8 southbound. Approximately 40 seconds after the driver of the vehicle fled from the attempted stop, a sound consistent with a gunshot can be heard on the body-worn cameras of the officers. Officers notified dispatch that a shot came out of the suspect's car door.
Getting onto 8 South of Talmadge. The reason for stop was traffic and equipment violation. 21 shots fired. That vehicle just had a shot come out of its door.
At the time of the sound, a flash of light can be seen along the driver's side of the suspect vehicle.
Why? Why? don't have any more. Nope. Okay. Monkey's barking. She's like,
The
wow,
vehicle pursuit continued on the
her legs
expressway
aren't
for several
working.
minutes, and the suspect vehicle exited onto the Archwood Avenue ramp. The pursuit proceeded through several city streets until he neared the intersection of East Wilbeth Road and Claremont Street. At that point, the driver slowed down and exited through the passenger side door of the moving vehicle wearing a ski mask.
Kaz, if you want to go to, yeah, there you go.
The suspect fled from the vehicle on foot, turning and facing officers momentarily. He continued to run, evading arrest. Officers attempted to safely take the suspect into custody by deploying their tasers.
Oh, so they did.
The deployment of tasers was unsuccessful, and the suspect continued to flee on foot. As the foot chase reached the nearby parking lot, the suspect stopped and quickly turned towards the pursuing officers.
So you're telling me that 8 cops with 8 tasers could not take him down?
Apparently not.
Officers reacted by discharging their firearms, striking the suspect.
60 times.
Under visual inspection of the suspect's vehicle, a handgun, a loaded magazine for a handgun, and what appears to be a gold wedding ring were observed in plain view on the driver's seat.
Horrible.
Now, is that my imagination or is that gun unloaded?
You know, Kaz, I'm not a professional when it comes to guns. Like, I probably wouldn't even have any idea how to load one unless it was a revolver. But I don't
That
know.
is a revolver.
It
That is
looks
a
to me
revolver.
like either there's an extra cartridge or the cartridge is out. But I do not know if anyone knows about guns and can look at that. I don't know if that's the cartridge unless the cops took the cartridge out. I I don't
That could be it because there
I
is a
don't
gap
know.
between the handle. There is an opening, so either the police took that photo after they took the cartridge out.
Cartridge out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know,
Okay.
but that's what I'm just assuming. Sorry, Tracy. I know it's hard to watch, but this is definitely we have a problem in the United States with how certain people are treated when they're pulled over compared to other people, and it's just absolutely insanity to me. I just
Mm.
can't wrap my head around this.
Okay, I'll keep going.
It's as sad. This is as sad right here as that kid. The and I'm not laughing because see people are gonna. I'm gonna get a comment now. I can't believe you were laughing, but just like the kid dressing like a woman to blend in, like mental illness is real.
Mm. Yeah, Jimby, but I agree with you, sweetheart. There is only one there, and I am assuming that before that photo was taken,
Wait,
law
wait.
enforcement would have removed the magazine from the gun to make
Look
it
at what
safe.
Chisme said.
I heard a cop say, "Oh, where did you hear that?"
But what's funny, Kaz, is usually unless this is after the crime scene came out and took pictures, they would not. The cop would not have ever pulled it out if it was like if it was safety and they were like I don't know if a cop would do that. Wouldn't they leave that for the crime scene people to come and pull it out and photograph before they took it out and then after they took it
Well,
out? Like,
one would assume if they're following procedure, they would wait. And I thought this was body cam footage, so
exactly. That's why I'm gonna have to call Mr. Hubba Hubba tomorrow and ask him. I just have a
yeah.
reason to call him now. Oh gosh. Hey,
Well, it's
London
the wrong
girl.
police department, Ma. You just want to ring Chris up.
Don't tell. Yeah, don't tempt me with a good time. Why not? I've got nothing else going on tomorrow.
No, that's a wedding ring.
A wedding ring, Will.
Well,
A
yeah,
wedding ring. So
yeah,
it was a gun and a wedding ring.
yeah. It's a gold wedding
So
ring.
yeah, so to me that's, I don't know, maybe him and his wife were having issues, maybe she left him. We're gonna have to find all that out. I'm sure we will, but that's a good question whether or not the cartridge was out of the gun or if there's one
Mm.
in the gun and that's an extra one, like an extra, you
Well,
know.
you can definitely see in the magazine. There's definitely a bullet sitting on the top. You can see the point of the bullet sitting on the top of the magazine. So there is
So,
a bullet in
Sunset, we're
there.
gonna get, yeah, we're gonna get into him next, and we're gonna show you guys pictures of, well, him at the parade as a woman. I mean, the guy, he left his gun behind. That's how they tracked him. But we'll get into him after we talk about Jayland and the difference.
Mm. All right, I'll carry on.
Okay, I'm gonna call Hubba Hubba and ask him that. And then I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna call you every day and stalk you unless you come on the program. I'm only kidding.
You're sure.
Oh, see, it is
Body worn
empty.
cameras do not.
Yes,
Has
yeah.
go
I
back
know.
like a
I saw.
hair. I think the gun that was the cartridge to the gun.
Yeah,
It does look like it's empty, doesn't it? Oh, look at it's
yeah.
loaded too. You can see the bullet all the way. Well, I don't know if the spring thing. I know nothing about guns. What is that? A 380?
I don't. It looks. I don't know. I don't know.
But I do not think that the cops would have done that, considering that this was on body cam footage, unless they just took it out to for safety. But safety from who? The other
Yeah,
police officers that had no bullets left because they put all of them in this kid.
yeah.
Okay, let me hush
All
down.
right.
Oh, look at there's my hubby. Hey,
Body worn
Matt.
cameras do not provide a 360-degree or three-dimensional view. We will now play 13 body worn camera videos.
Okay,
Oh,
guys,
that wasn't.
this is the serious trigger warning right here.
602, I'm west on Wilbus Firestone. Can I get in?
We're still westbound on Wilbit. We're passing Evergreen. We're heading towards Maine. Looks like we have some units up ahead at the intersection of Maine. He's slowing down here, slowing down. Stop. He's in your fucking head! He's in your fucking head! Don't you fucking move the car! You fucking move! Hey, don't fucking move! Don't fucking move! Show me your hand! Show me your fucking hand!
Holy crap!
602, I'm west on Wilbus Firestone. Can I get in? We're still westbound on Wilbus. We're passing Evergreen. We're heading towards Maine. Looks like we have some units up ahead at the intersection of Maine. He's slowing down here, slowing down. Slowing down. 602 on West on Wilbur, fire something. Can I get in?
My gosh. You know, Cass, to think
Still
about it too,
westbound Wilbur.
those cops fired
We're
as many
passing
shots as the
Evergreen,
parade shooter did.
heading towards me.
Pardon?
The police officers right here fired as many shots as the parade shooter fired into the crowd.
I know, it's unbelievable. And how they didn't actually hit their fellow police officers is unbelievably lucky. Because
It's unreal.
if you saw the two officers that were running to the right, there was officers to the left, and the officer he must have only had his taser out because you could see a string from the taser gun, and he
Yes.
actually stepped to the left as the guy was running down.
He should have
Firing
tasered the
shots.
cops that were shooting him. Like, I just don't understand why out of 8 police officers, not a couple of them were like, just, I can't wrap my head around this. This is like, I have no words for once about this.
I'm absolutely shocked. My heart's beating.
Yeah, it's just.
Well, it should be beating, but my heart's pounding.
I thought you were a vampire. Now you're not? Okay. Will says people also can keep running after being shot, etc. Walking Dead. I mean, but just, I mean, I'm gonna get my hands on the when the redacted autopsy report comes up. And when I heard that he was shot in the face and under the left eye, so I guess that makes sense, turning around to face the police officers. But hey, don't shoot him in the legs. Let's just shoot him in the face. I can't.
Well, they were still shooting when he was on the ground, so that's where the facial ones probably came from too.
Close your eyes, cat eyes. We're sorry. But we have it in the thumbnail. We were going to be talking about this tonight. Okay. Go ahead, Kaz.
Looks like we have some units up ahead at the intersection of Main. He's slowing down here, slowing down. Don't fucking move! Don't fucking move! Fucking move! Don't fucking
Kaz, pause it for a second.
Yeah.
Matt, it was a traffic stop because Jayland Walker had like a light out or something, a routine traffic stop.
Yeah.
And as they started to pull him over, supposedly he fired a shot out the window as the car was slowing down. He got out and he started to run. And inside the car is a gun, a cartridge with bullets, and a wedding ring. Okay. Yeah. That's what started it, Matt.
Yeah, all these other videos, Mar, are just different aspects from different cops' view. I don't think we need to play all of them, to be honest with you. I mean,
no. We don't have to play all 8 body cams, but it's just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite stressful watching it over and over from different angles.
We don't need to watch the different angles, but we can just see how the force that they took.
I mean, you could quite plainly see in
private chat, Kaz.
Okay, hang on, let me stop sharing. You could quite plainly see in that one where when he fell, he rolled and they're still shooting.
It's just over. It's just one cop could have taken him down with a bullet in the leg or a couple tasers. I don't understand how 8 cops with 8 tasers and nothing worked.
Yes, I agree.
Now let's watch the arrest of the parade shooter.
Okay, just bear with me while I just share my screen again, guys.
Exactly, Gen B. So why did he run? I mean, even if he ends up being a bad guy, regardless, at the end of the day, like in my opinion, with George Floyd, it's just overkill. Literally
Yeah,
overkill with this boy.
I mean, he did discharge a firearm out of his car. I mean, he did do that. He did have a firearm in his car. So,
Oh, that's the wrong one, Kaz. Sorry.
you lead me astray.
What is that one though? That one's. Oh, okay.
This is
That's something.
this is about this is crimo.
Yeah, that should be it.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay, it opened up on a different thing. Let me see 1 second. No, I'm gonna give you the one.
Hey, give me another one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you off Twitter. 1 sec.
Oh, you want the Twitter one? Okay.
I got it. I got it right here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna close some of these tabs.
Or the guy who shows his sexy leg. There it is.
Oh,
All right. In private
waiting.
chat.
There you go. Oh, it's a big one.
You can't unsee that, and I don't want to see that. Like it's just so, with everything going on in the world. Out of 8 cops, it just amazes me that it was 8 of them. I'm
Yeah,
not shocked of what happened because it happens all the time here. Sad but true. But the fact that there were so many of them that continued, like, you didn't think that maybe the guy next to you was taking care of business after the couple of shots in the face? Like, I just don't get why you kept going. And then when he's
yeah.
down on the ground, it's just
Okay. Now
sad.
this next one I'm going to play for you is oops, is the it was put up on Twitter by somebody that was parked at the lights when the police pulled over Robert.
He's actually a reporter
Mm,
or something like John Dodgeman or something. You'll
yeah,
see his name on it. There's no cussing. There's no, like, just listen. This is just like, yeah. And then when you get in the car, we're gonna take you to Burger King and get you a Whopper.
try and make it as big as I can for you. Hang on. Why is it? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, well, it was just too much. But this right here is just the difference.
There we go. Let me go back to the beginning.
Yeah, we don't have to not talk during this one because, well, when this cap comes out,
So that's the police over on the far right hand side.
and one is in this red truck.
So that's the vehicle there.
I think this guy got blowhorn Betty's megaphone. Unbelievable.
It's a shooter. Yeah.
Ugh. night and day.
Yeah, totally different.
I mean, even though the parade shooter didn't try to run and didn't fire a shot out the window, it's just even the way they talk to him, just completely different.
Mm.
And this man gets on a roof dressed like a woman to blend in when he leaves the crowd, because we all know that most, mass shooters are not female. I mean, who thinks that up like, oh, he's a little creeper? Not to mention the victims.
Mm.
Horrible. The couple. I collected all their pictures. And I'm going to share them. And then we're going to
Not
talk
good at
about
all.
Dylan Rounds.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so this right here was the couple. I was going to do a little video on them. This was the married couple that was covering their little boy. Um, Irina and Kevin. This was the couple that had the little toddler that he was shielding. And then I might even start crying on these two because oh my gosh, you just can't even make it up. And this man, oh, I'm gonna cry, Kaz.
Take a deep breath.
Nicholas Toledo, 77 or 76 years old, from Mexico. A victim. And then we've got this man. This was the one that got me. This one, he's 78 years, oh, excuse me, 88 years old. To live that long and you're killed at a 4th of July parade.
Mm. It's so sad.
This man right here broke my heart. And then this lady. Uh, I mean, you can't even go to like the guy at the movie theaters. Like people go into movie theaters now. You're going to go to a parade. You're going to go to a festival, and it's really sad in the States when you have to look for a place. Like, okay, let's just say a mass shooter shows up. Which way are we going to go? Like that's sad.
But as I said to you,
What is
when I
her
was
name?
watching
Watching what?
when I was
Her
watching the
name's
videos,
Jacqueline.
how calm and collective the police officers that were riding the bikes that were, up and down the parade, they were just very calmly riding around, and there's shots going over the heads into the crowds. And
So
they were
her
still
name was
riding the bicycle.
Jacqueline, and she was 63. And last but not least, Catherine Goldstein. And let me show you her. Just sad.
Shredder, apparently you were just shooting randomly.
Yep, just on the rooftop, dressed like a woman, laying 60 shots out into the crowd. It's kind of ironic, though, almost the exact amount that they laid into Jayland Walker. Like, it's just weird.
Mm.
And her. She's the last victim. And her name is Catherine Goldstein, and she was 64 years old. Okay, do we still have Black Dove here?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in chat for a little while. Black Dove, are you still watching?
We can email him the link. I'm going to give Miss Lucid a call real quick.
Okay.
Talk about the water rights. And if anybody wants to come up and talk, let us know. We will turn the Zoom on. Or you can take the link and come up on StreamYards, whichever.
Yeah, I'm just popping the link in there.
I agree, Will. I agree. But this, it's sad too because some people can hide it so good. But this kid obviously was having problems in 2019.
Mm.
There is supposedly a YouTube page that he
Yeah.
had where it was showing like school shootings and gun violence and then him hanging out with his friends. I would love to see those YouTube
Well,
videos.
yeah, unfortunately, that's all been taken down, as was his Twitter accounts.
All right, so let's go have a look at what's. Oh my gosh, that kid. You can look at his pictures and see like this. He looks sad, like he's like a lost look almost.
Mm.
Now this guy has completely changed. Let's talk about Dylan.
Mm. Well, there's been a little bit of interesting development as far as
But before we
Dylan's.
start, I gotta say something to some of these people that keep leaving these horrible comments on my page. I've been
Okay,
getting
you
a
go for it.
I've been getting a lot of threats lately that people are turning my every time I have Jim come on, I get threats. Like it's like, listen, guys, do I agree with everything Jim says? No. Do I want to hear about Candace's past, or do I really care? I've said it over and over. Not really, but I want to know who Dylan was hanging around with and what was going on because that is how you're going to figure out what happened to Dylan. But I am convinced, and I've said it to Kaz weeks ago, the people involved are in jail.
Correct.
Oh, this dumb thing wants us to sign up. We're not doing that with the Elko News again.
Oh, no. No, you won't get that up. Yeah. Now, this dashing fellow is the latest photo of the ones that we've shown you previously on the live of Robert, Bobby, whichever you'd like to call him, Veerley's. His hair's grown out. He's no longer got a shaved head, and he's very grey.
He's 38 years old, and
Yeah.
he's that grey.
Yeah. Well, I started going grey at 23. I suppose it all depends on your genes.
A lot of people are coming down to I'm not trying to say anything, but what do you think the water rights would have to do with anything of him going missing when we know from what Miss Lucen said that Dylan was coming down to the streams because she saw him there, getting water and drinking it at the stream. She said he was not drinking the water out of his well. We know
because
this.
the water in his well is salty. We know that. Shredder? What? Kaz is 24. I wish. Oh, add 40 onto that and you're right. I wish.
Let me drop that in there in case the generator goes. But the Wadsworth are definitely a strange bunch.
Yes.
But I just don't feel they had anything to do with Dylan's disappearance.
Exposed, that gentleman on the screen, and I am using that term very loosely. That person is Robert Aviles. He's the person that was taken in by the FBI, and he's connected. He's been a bad boy. He's done a lot of robberies. He's done assaults. He was. Oh God, where do we start?
Back in 2007.
Oh,
yeah. He was stealing master hotel keys and breaking into hotel guest room.
Yeah, and he's been linked to, in a roundabout way, to Dylan's disappearance. Has law enforcement absolutely categorically come out and said he has? No. Was he around Dylan's property or around the grain truck area? Yes. The only
Yes,
person
he
that's
was squatting. He was squatting
yeah,
on that land with Jim Brenner. They were both over
yeah,
there. Let's also remember that his mother is the mother who's staying with the alpaca guy because of
Ty. Yeah.
yep, because of something that happened. Bobby
Now,
V. Ellis's mother.
Mr. Brenner went to court, and he has it's been put out there now that he has been named a suspect in Dylan's case. So
I'm pulling that up.
I'm asking that. We're just reading. Right.
And it's funny too because before he even got arrested, Miss Lucen said to me, "There is no way I don't think Don had anything to do with it." I mean, she
No,
knows all of them. She said, "But the one that has a really, really bad temper is
Tampa
Jim."
is Jim. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Rachel, that's so sweet of you. I'd love, look, darling. I may look younger, but my my body, I feel like I'm 96. Um, but I just have good English genes. Although my grandparents are actually from Boston, Massachusetts, so I have some American genes in me as well. So I'm a bit of a Heinz variety. Maybe
I
that's
mean,
what's helping.
you've got Chase Venstra, which that video. Have you guys seen the video of him being arrested when he was on the 10-hour hide and seek in the attic? Like, you cannot make that up.
Oh, that was unbelievable. That man was determined, in some respects, not to get rearrested. For a man to lie in between the beams underneath fiberglass insulation, which I don't know if you've ever touched fiberglass insulation, it makes your skin so extremely itchy. But when the police officers went in, they initially couldn't hear him. They thought he somehow got out, but they couldn't understand how. But he was just lying there, quiet as a mouse. He must have been going crazy with itching, I think.
10 hours.
Mm.
And they found grenades inside his house.
Yeah, but they weren't live grenades, though, which is a good thing. Yeah, Rachel. Sorry, Grandma.
I mean, it's just sad. Like, that whole entire little area. I mean, obviously, there's definitely a meth problem out there. Now, have I seen pictures of the caves and the meth caves like that? Nah, I don't know.
Mm.
Do I think the Wadsworth are good guys? No, I think they definitely have their own little weird little thing going on. Like, I wouldn't want to pull over and hang out at the Saddle Sore bar.
Yeah.
1 second, guys. I'm not looking at chat. I'm looking to see if they have new papers on good old James Brenner.
Now, James Brenner's got quite a decent rap sheet. I mean, he's gone down for the likes of, going back to 1986, his rap sheet's long. I mean, he's had assault with intent to murder. I mean, he is not a very nice person. He's done jail time, but he doesn't seem to have learned his lesson, And if he has done something, he's got to pay the penalty for again.
But why kill Dylan? Like, the only thing I can think about is every time I think about him and Bobby being squatting on the farmland that Dylan parked the grain truck in, I keep going back to what Candace Cooley said. And her exact words were, Dylan was parking the grain truck over there, but he was in the process of buying that land.
Yeah. Well,
but what was it? What was it about Jim parking his truck at the gate, or there was something new with that today?
Well, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but Jim seems to think he was the custodial of that driveway. And even though, Dylan did have if you can call it a gate, a couple of pieces of timber and pieces of wire with the chain holding it on. You know, but you know, a makeshift gate per se. But you've got to remember that land that shed's on belongs to Box Elder Livestock, and it used to have cattle on it, so
Yes.
they didn't need a real sturdy gate on it anyway per se. So Jim thought he was, the big man, and he had to make sure that nobody went down the road, like all these. When people come down to the sun tunnels, I suppose they may have accidentally turned up the wrong way. Instead of turning right to go down to the sun tunnels, they turned left and may have ended up going up towards the grain shed. I don't know. It can happen. There's no actual signage. It's not like you've got street signage all the way out there. So, maybe one too many people ventured out the wrong way and it annoyed the dickens out of him if he's got such a bad temper.
Yeah,
If
I
it's as
think
bad
it was
as
an
people
argument.
say,
I think
I
it was an
think things,
argument that went bad. Now, who actually did it? Chase, um, James, or Bobby? I don't know, but I think that's why they're all in jail. Is because I think the
yeah.
police are hoping that one of them is going to start talking.
Well, I tried to put myself, not that I really wanted to, but I tried to put myself in James Brenner's shoes. I mean, he's younger than me, but if I was almost a 59-year-old man, I got a bad record, and if I'd done something bad to a young boy, as far as hurting, but it wasn't intentional, I'd lost my temper and I'd gone too far, but somebody helped me, I think I would look at doing, if I could get a plea deal, but I would also want to implicate somebody else. I wouldn't want to take the rap and tolling on my own either. Yeah, Leslie does sound like an episode of that Ozark show. I agree. But things like this happen out there. I mean, this stuff that happens out in Australia too. I mean, the majority of the population in Australia is all along the seaboard. We have a lot of open land that sits in the middle of Australia that is very, 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 very sparsely populated. There are a lot of big cattle stations that are on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of acres of property. And the closest neighbour might be 100 kilometres or 200 kilometres away from each other. It's really spanned out a lot. And they tend to, you might have one police officer that might cover, Struth, or
Well,
say
Monster.
the state of Arizona, one police officer might cover the whole state. Like, that's a comparison, because one station might be that size. Do you know what I mean?
He's
So
going out there tomorrow.
who is?
The monsters under our bed.
Is he going out with Ty Corbin?
I'm not sure, but he is going to loosen tomorrow.
Okay. Because he's got a new drone software implementation set up as well, I heard, where you can get 3D.
All right, my generator is starting to go.
I can hear it.
But I want to
hear
show. Yeah, I want to show you guys what is about to start with the Jayland Walker situation. This is what we have to look forward to now, guys. Right here.
Oh no, it started.
Oh, it's starting. Starting tonight. Hey, Leisha.
Hey, I want to get on the news, bro. I want to get back on the news.
Yep.
Yeah, Alicia, I think
They'll
it's
be out
too.
soon.
I knew this might
Yeah.
happen. It's sad, but Alicia,
Oh, it's starting.
try unclicking the notification bell and re-clicking it because I'm having trouble with my notifications too, Sweater.
This shit is wrong, bro. I got a lot. No, I'm getting on the camera, Mike. Hey, give me the bottle. Give me the
So
bottle.
this is what's going to start.
Hey, give me the bottle, nigga.
It's sad, very sad. And I can
Yep.
hear the generator sputtering.
Yes, it is. But the power permit was put in today, and now I'm just waiting for those power men in a town of 300 to come over. So it shouldn't be taking too long.
Woohoo! All right. Well, before we lose you, then Sweater, we best say goodnight to everybody.
All right. Let me just go. I'm curious to see if, yeah, this is just starting too. So this is going to get, yeah, look at more people are starting to come.
Yeah.
The Black Lives Matter signs are going to come out in full effect, and let's see if it's going to happen like when they were taking over police stations and burning them down.
See, this doesn't. I mean, I understand the hurt, and I understand, but it doesn't really help the cause by starting this, really.
Well, there's protesters and there's rioters.
Yes,
That's
I agree.
yeah.
That's the difference. And there's
Yes.
people that just get on the bandwagon for the sake of getting on the bandwagon.
Like Kyle Rittenhouse came from a different state to protect the properties and stuff, and then we won't even discuss that. That's a very controversy case because I totally believe that one person might have been self-offended. Two, I might, but three, I just that was mind blowing that he walked out of the courthouse to me. But that's my opinion.
Alicia.
So we're gonna get a hold of Miss Lucen, and we're gonna see if her and Ty will join us and talk about the water rights. And did anyone ever, real fast before I end it, did anyone ever figure out about the Eddie Heisberg that sold the land to Larry Rounds, Dylan's grandpa?
Not to my knowledge. I haven't heard anything about it.
Because the rumor from a lot of people is that he was a very bad guy and he knew the water was bad. But then Miss Lucen will tell you that there's no way that the deep well that Dylan had salt in it and was coming from either Bonneville or the Great Salt Lake. And you know where it came from, this estuary?
Yeah.
What is it called? The faucet? I'm only kidding.
Oh, you think
Yeah,
you're a
it's
comedian,
starting.
woman.
It's starting, guys. It's gonna start. So this is gonna go on, and then we've got the parade dresser who's just. I mean, where are it's just crazy that people what you choose to go and be a part of because 6 people lost their lives, and look at that man. He lived to be 88 years old, and the man that came from Mexico and worked his whole life so hard with all of his children at almost 80 just to be shot at a 4th of July parade from a kid dressed like a woman so he will blend in up on a rooftop after having a 2019 suicide mental breakdown. He buys guns a year later. Something is not right. And there's the tear gas, guys. Cover your eyes. We're going to be gassed out in a minute. That's tear gas, Kaz. They're throwing tear gas.
I know.
All right, everyone. Leisha, it's good to see you. I hope you're good. I hope your family's good. And I think that's it, Kaz.
Yep.
All right.
Thank
Everyone
you,
have
everybody.
a good night, guys.
Thanks for having me, Ma.
Oh, always, Kaz. Stay vigilant, guys. Keep your babies safe. And I'm just going to sit back and wait for the facts in Dylan's case, but I do want to talk to them about the water. I am curious to have her tell them what she's told us about
Yeah.
Dylan's water and her water and
Absolutely.
the water out there.
Yeah.
But what does the
Absolutely.
water have to do with? Is it the fence? Is it the water? Is it the
It's
50,000? I think
it's the lack of water, the fresh water availability in the area that affects not only where Dylan's property is, but the other properties going up and into Montello.
yeah, I get that, but I don't think the water has anything to do with the reason why Dylan is no longer around.
I don't think so either.
I think it has to do with one of them getting mad and snapping a temper, and I think it was something that was not planned and turned into something ugly.
I do too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Cassie.
All right,
Have a good
Ma.
night,
Love
guys.
to all.
I'm gonna go watch this live rioting and oh gosh.
Some light entertainment, not.
No, it's just sad.
It is. I'm gonna go and have some lunch.
I'm gonna go watch it on people's live YouTube channels that are like right there in the mix of it. Like I'm not gonna watch it
Oh,
on a news
crikey.
media.
Mm.
I'm going in with my
Good night.
magnifying glass, guys. All right, guys, have a great night. Thank you for
Good
coming in.
night.
Night night. Night. I love getting
Night.
oh gosh.